You're being manipulated, influenced by forces beyond your control. Right now, hidden biases are shaping your perceptions. Most people never notice, but we'll reveal 11 tactics used to sway your mind. Number 11 will disturb you. Watch to the end to uncover the truth. Number 1. The anchoring effect silently influences your mind with the first piece of information you receive, shaping your perception of reality. This psychological phenomenon is rooted in the way our brains process initial data as a reference point, making subsequent information seem relative by comparison. Consider a scenario where a real estate agent shows you two houses, one priced at $500,000 and the other at $300,000. The first house, despite being overpriced, sets an anchor in your mind, making the second seem like a more reasonable and affordable option. As a result, the anchoring effect leads to poor decision-making, whether it's in business negotiations or personal purchases. It's a bias that affects us daily, often without us realizing it. But the anchoring effect is just the beginning, as there are biases that can manipulate not just our financial decisions, but our very understanding of the world. And as we delve deeper into the list, you'll find that the hidden biases only get more insidious, with number 11 being the most dangerous of all, a bias so potent it can alter the fabric of your reality. This leaves us wondering, what other biases are lurking in the shadows, waiting to strike? Number 2. Our minds are wired to overestimate the importance of vivid, memorable events, thanks to the availability heuristic, a mental shortcut that makes us judge the likelihood of an event based on how easily examples come to mind. Consider a plane crash. The moment it happens, it's plastered all over the news, and suddenly, many people are afraid to fly, despite the fact that air travel is still one of the safest modes of transportation. As a result, people might opt for driving instead, which is actually much more dangerous. The consequence is clear: our perception of risk is skewed, leading to poor decision-making. This bias is lurking in every corner of our lives, from our fear of sharks to our fear of terrorism. But what's even more intriguing is that this is just the tip of the iceberg, and as we dive deeper into these hidden biases, we'll find that the most insidious one is yet to come, the one that will make you question everything you thought you knew about human nature, the one that awaits us at number 11, the most dangerous bias of all. And now, as we're about to uncover the next bias, the question remains: can we overcome our own mental flaws? Number 3. The hindsight bias is a cognitive quirk where we convince ourselves, after an event has occurred, that we would have predicted it, a delusional sense of foreseeability that can distort our perception of the past. Consider a significant event like a political election. After the results are in, it's not uncommon for people to say they knew the winner all along, even if they had no idea beforehand. This phenomenon can have serious consequences, such as influencing how we judge others' abilities to predict future events and our own decision-making in similar situations. For instance, an investor might believe they could have predicted a stock market crash and therefore make overly risky investments in the future, based on a false sense of prescience. As we continue through these hidden biases, it becomes increasingly clear how they intertwine and affect our lives, but none perhaps as insidiously as the one waiting at the end, the 11th, which might just be the most dangerous bias of all, lurking in the shadows of our minds. And now, as we leave the realm of hindsight, we step into the twilight zone of another bias, one that might just change everything. Number 4. Our minds are wired to deflect blame and attribute our shortcomings to external factors, a phenomenon known as the self-serving bias. This bias leads us to believe our successes are a result of our own abilities, while our failures are caused by external circumstances. Consider a student who attributes their excellent grades to their intelligence, but blames their poor performance on a difficult teacher. As a consequence, they fail to recognize their own weaknesses and do not take responsibility for their actions. This distorted perception of reality can have severe repercussions, affecting not only our personal relationships but also our professional lives. The self-serving bias creates a ripple effect, influencing how we perceive ourselves and others. As we continue to navigate the complex landscape of biases, we begin to uncover the darker aspects of human psychology. The shadows cast by our own minds can be ominous, and it is only when we confront these biases that we can begin to understand the true nature of our thoughts and behaviors. But beware, for the most insidious biases are yet to come, and number 11 will reveal the most destructive of all. And now, let us proceed to the next hidden bias, one that will challenge our very perception of reality. Uncover the shadows within, subscribe to stay vigilant. Number 5. We judge others based on their actions, but ourselves on our intentions, a dichotomy known as the actor-observer bias. Imagine a manager who recently fired an employee, attributing the decision to the employee's incompetence, while also justifying their own actions as necessary for the company's growth. This bias leads to a distorted perception of control and responsibility. A person involved in a car accident may blame the other driver's reckless behavior, while attributing their own role in the accident to bad luck or circumstances. This self-serving bias has severe consequences, shaping our relationships and interactions. It influences how we perceive and react to events, often leading to miscommunication and conflict. As we continue to unravel these hidden biases, the darkness deepens, and the most sinister one may still be lurking, waiting to be revealed, much like the haunting shadow that number 11 will cast, the most treacherous bias of all. But first, let's explore another, equally disturbing bias. Number 6. The fundamental attribution error is a pervasive bias that leads us down a slippery slope of misjudgment. It's the tendency to overestimate the role of character and underestimate the impact of situational factors in shaping behavior. Consider the story of a driver who cuts you off on the highway. You might immediately think he's a reckless and rude person, but what if he's actually rushing to the hospital because his wife is in labor? This bias has severe consequences, such as wrongful judgments and missed opportunities for empathy. As we navigate the complexities of human behavior, we must recognize the interplay between internal dispositions and external circumstances. Yet, as we continue to peel back the layers of our psyche, we may uncover even more sinister forces at play, and it's possible that the most insidious bias of all is the one that awaits us at the end of this journey, the one that threatens to upend everything we thought we knew about ourselves. And now, as we transition to the next item on our list, the question lingers: what other hidden biases are operating beneath the surface, waiting to be exposed? Number 7. We instinctively seek validation of our preconceived notions, a phenomenon known as confirmation bias, where we favor information that aligns with our existing beliefs, often at the expense of objective truth. Consider a political debate, where one side selectively presents statistics and expert opinions that support their stance, while dismissing contradictory evidence. The consequence is a polarization of views, as people become entrenched in their own echo chambers, unwilling to consider alternative perspectives. This bias can have far-reaching implications, from influencing voting decisions to shaping our perceptions of reality. As we continue to navigate the labyrinth of cognitive biases, we are drawn closer to the heart of darkness within human psychology. But be warned, the most insidious biases are yet to come, and the last one may just be the most dangerous of all, waiting to upend everything we thought we knew about ourselves. Will we be prepared to face the truth about our own minds when the time comes? The journey to the next revelation begins now. Number 8. Our perceptions can be swayed by the mere framing of information, a concept known as the framing effect. This psychological bias illustrates how people make different decisions based on whether the information is presented in a positive or negative light. Consider a scenario where a meat packer labels their product as 75% lean, emphasizing the positive aspect of the lower fat content, as opposed to saying it contains 25% fat, which would evoke a negative response due to the focus on the fat content itself. The consequence of this framing effect can lead to altered consumer choices, where the same product might be viewed more favorably when the focus is on its positive attributes. As we delve deeper into these biases, it becomes apparent how subtly yet profoundly they influence our judgments. And now, as we move on to the next item, ask yourself, are you prepared for the darkness that lies within? The framing effect merely scratches the surface, and the further we proceed, the more unsettling the biases become, a notion that will ultimately culminate in the revelation of the most dangerous bias of all, which awaits you at number 11. Will you be able to handle the truth? Uncover the shadows within, subscribe to never be blinded. Number 9. Our brains are wired to fear loss more than we value gain, a psychological phenomenon known as loss aversion. Consider a gambler, standing in a crowded casino, clutching a handful of chips, unwilling to bet them, even when the odds are in his favor, because the pain of losing those chips outweighs the thrill of winning more. As a result, people tend to hold on to what they have, rather than risking it for potential gain, a mindset that can stifle progress and innovation. In the business world, this can lead to companies sticking with outdated strategies, afraid to adapt to changing markets, ultimately leading to their downfall. As we explore these biases, we begin to realize how deeply they are ingrained in our psyche, making us wonder what other secrets our minds are hiding, and whether we'll be able to uncover the most insidious of all, the one that'll be revealed in our final item, which may just be the most dangerous bias of all. But first, let's move on to the next item on our list. Number 10, the sunk cost fallacy, a bias that ensnares us in a vicious cycle of investment and loss. This psychological trap occurs when we continue to invest time, money, or effort into something simply because of our initial commitment, even if it no longer makes sense to do so. Consider a gambler who has lost thousands at a casino, yet continues to bet in an attempt to recoup their losses, only to spiral further into debt. The mechanism is clear. Our aversion to loss leads us to throw good money after bad, in a desperate attempt to salvage our initial investment. As the losses mount, so too does the psychological tension, until the gambler is eventually forced to confront the devastating reality of their situation. And so, we must ask ourselves, what other hidden biases are waiting to exploit our deepest psychological fears? The sunk cost fallacy may be costly, but the next bias on our list threatens to destroy not just our wallets, but our very sense of self. The most dangerous bias of all is yet to come. Number 11. The Mandela effect, a phenomenon where collective memories of a particular event or detail differ from recorded history, revealing the malleable nature of human recollection. Consider the example of the Berenstain Bears, a popular children's book series, which many people recall being spelled Berenstein Bears despite the fact that it has always been Berenstain. This discrepancy highlights how our brains can distort and manipulate memory, often influenced by social suggestion and confirmation bias. The consequences of this effect are profound, as it demonstrates the fallibility of human memory and the ease with which it can be altered. As we delve deeper into the mysteries of the Mandela effect, we begin to question the very fabric of our reality. And now, as we conclude our exploration of the 11 hidden biases, we must ask ourselves, what lies beyond the veil of our perceptions? Will we find truth, or will we succumb to the darkness of our own biases? The journey into the abyss of the human psyche has only just begun. The cumulative effect of these biases is a staggering distortion of reality, proving that our perception is a canvas painted by unseen forces. Can you truly trust your own mind? Next, we'll expose the armor to shield yourself from these insidious influences. Subscribe for the unvarnished truth.